俺の術がどこまで通じるか試してみるか。
Hey, what's good, Lad here? Back with part 2 of the Live Alive collab. This time we'll be checking out Streibough. He has access to 5 different elemental attacks, with him being mainly proficient in fire, and lightning and wind, and somewhat decent at ice and dark. Similar to Orsted, his passive gives him an increase in damage the more you use him in a battle. Let's go ahead and check out his VA before moving forward. Shizuma Hoshima is the VA for Streibough. He's also the OG voice actor for Final Fantasy IV's Cecil Harvey, in the 2007 version for the Nintendo DS that first introduced voice acting, and he is still the VA for Cecil to this day. As a Final Fantasy fanboy and someone who started the Final Fantasy series with Final Fantasy IV, I got nothing but love for this character. It's also funny because this won't be the last time we'll see Cecil in the OCTOPATH cotc. I got a good feeling we'll be seeing him soon in the global side. Anyways, let's go ahead and check out his notable damaging skills. His first ability is the Crimson Eruption. It's an SP cost of 60, so one hit, single target fire damage, up to 6 times depending on how many magic points you have stacked up, and it has a potency of 35. The second ability is an SP cost of 52. It's a 3-hit random target light and wind damage. At 5 more magic points, he gets a 20% potency up, and the potency for this is 65. His third ability is an SP cost of 24. It's a 1-hit single target ice damage, and at 3 or more magic points, this ability activates again, and this has a potency of 70. His last ability is an SP cost of 34. It's a 1-hit single target dark damage attack, and it inflicts a 15% speed down for 2 turns to the enemy, and at 5 points more, this attack becomes AoE, and this ability has a potency of 170. His ultimate is a self-buff ability, and it lets him dodge elemental attacks for 2 turns at level 1 and 3 turns at level 10, and a self 10% magic up at level 1 and 20% at level 10 for 2 turns again at level 1 and 3 turns at level 10. And he counters when he gets hit with an elemental attack with a 1-hit AoE dark damage attack, potency 135. For his passive, his first one is Magic Infusion. When using his skills, he gains 1 magic point and restores 10 SP after each skill use. Second passive, Magic Enlightenment. At 1 magic point, he gets a 12% elemental attack up and a 2% added for each magic point, with a cap being at 30%, and at 9 magic points, he gets an elemental damage up of 20%. And then he has a 10% resistance in wind, ice, lightning, light, and dark. Taking a look at his stats, his elemental attack is high, similar to Orsted's physical attack, and his speed is relatively decent at 313, so he'll be faster than some other scholars in the game. With his SP at 577 and his passive giving him a 10 SP each turn, you won't really have to worry much about managing his SP. Just watch out for his HP as he'll be somewhat squishy. So the main question, should you pull? Again, for nostalgic reasonings, that by itself is good enough to pull if you are familiar with Live Alive, but as a useful traveler in cotc, he barely cuts it. Using him strictly in a battle against an enemy that's weak to fire, and he'll do relatively well, as he can hit up to 6 shields if he's got more than 6 magic points. And then up against an enemy weak to lightning or dark, he'll manage, as he can hit up to 3 shields. Hitting either ice or dark with him isn't too impressive, as they both are a one-hitter and are going to be used in cases of emergency. Now the main problem with him is his build-up mechanic. Just like Orsted, you need to have him in battle for 9 turns to get 9 or more magic points, which gives him a 30% magic up and then a 20% magic damage up. Now 9 turns is a lot, especially if you're up against an enemy that automatically ends a battle after 15 turns. His ultimate could be interesting, as it gives him a 2 or 3 turn and not a 2 or 3 times of dodging elemental attacks, so you could potentially do some nutty things with him and his dark counter attack, but again, it really isn't all that great. His main selling point would definitely have to be his A4 accessory, which is a combination of Idea's A4 and Augustus A4 accessory. It's a plus 70 to elemental attack and plus 700 HP, and it taunts all enemies while filling the Traveler's ultimate gauge to 100%. This is great to have as you get both taunt and a full ultimate gauge. If you do not get Augustus A4 accessory, this could again be a decent accessory to have, but you'll have to ask yourself if it's justifiable getting him to A4. That'll be a decision that you'll have to make depending on how many rubies you have and how lucky you are with a free 10 times pull. Just keep in mind again that the next traveler in this collaboration will be one of the top tier warriors coming out. Now longevity, it's difficult to gauge him on a level of usefulness when the enemy is not weak to fire. Against enemies with a fire weakness and after 6 turns, you have a 6 fire shield breaker at all times, but that will be the end of his usefulness. The upcoming fire warrior will be the better traveler to bring if you need someone who can hit fire. Now let's go ahead and finish up. Character design 4 out of 5. Just like Orsted, I don't know the origin of these characters, I can't really appreciate them like those who have played the original game, but he looks pretty cool. From his artwork alone, he looks like a villain. Voice actor 5 out of 5. Shizuma Hoshima, the OG voice actor for Cecil. Abilities 3.5 out of 5, his A4 and his 6-hit fire attack are his selling point, but it's gonna take you a while to get to either or. Longevity 2.5 out of 5. He can hit different elements, just that he doesn't do anything well except fire and or wind or lightning. Time limited, yes, 0 out of 5, he's a collaboration unit. Overall impression, he's decent. He could have been better, and I wouldn't worry too much if you skipped him. As said before, getting him to a point where he can activate his passive will take you forever. With that being said, I might do a poll or two on the free Ruby banner to test my luck before the highlight trailer of this collaboration comes out. Let me know if you'll be polling for him. I'll catch you next time. Take care of yourself. Let out.